Another one. Let's do something about this. So yeah, I have this book here, and it sort of goes further back. It deals with, because in the sort of like last one, you have this person come into focus, and then it introduces one story which could be interesting later. But debatably, you don't deal with many of like the cards that you've been dealing with. You just deal with the orphanage and the two brothers. And they're back when obviously they were kids, because this is a story that happened in the sort of past, right? So it doesn't really deal with much, because again, you're dealing with you're dealing with one person. I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say king, but that doesn't narrow it down at all. But that is interesting. I do like that. So that's actually, so yeah, it deals with like, it deals with the king of blackmail, which does come up in later books, a bit better. But the reason why I like bringing this up here is because this deals with the story that could sort of be used for Moriarty. His sort of little thing that he had when he was younger, which sort of has him connected with the orphanage, because at the moment, this is major spoilers, Moriarty is pretending to be, because you have three people who are being the Lord of Crime. Actually no, it's not the King of Crime, it's the Lord of Blackmail. You have three people being the Lord of Crime, one of which is sort of which you have the biological connection to the other lords of like his father, but his younger brother died, who's currently being like, oh no, my younger brother is Moriarty, which is interesting. But I think the story deals with the sequel. You also deal with two other things, which I don't mention too much, because it doesn't really deal much, which is, one, it deals with the sort of like, sometimes certain of the ladies come around with a tea party and all that stuff, which each one of the lords sort of takes over at a certain point, which I don't know was an old-fashioned traditional thing that they put into story because, like, yeah, we're in the Victorian era, it makes sense. Or if they just made it up for, like, an actual thing that would bring intensity, because you have a bunch of people who are going to a house of the Lord of Crime, who might spread that around because they have good reason to do so, right? And then, after the last bit of the story, it starts introducing this new character later on, which gets used in another way in like book 10, which we are going to talk about, but not this one. But the introduction of it is fun. But the main point is this mystery of this case that they dealt with when they were younger. I still love these book series, and it's so good. The person who recommended me this, I might try and find. But again, these books are so amazing and absolutely worth watching. Not watching, reading. But, I don't know why I said but. I just keep forgetting to do this, but yeah, it's really good. Go and read it. What would be technically today, which I am still going to do, the season 4 of Dr. Stone. So that's going to happen. So, I hope you enjoy, and good night.